Welcome to the mud shop. Here I am getting ready to unload this kiln. All right, let me put the camera on the stand and we will get started. I have a new case for my camera and it doesn't fit in my stand, so I'm working on that. Anyway, hello. Been a while since I've done a kiln opening, a couple months. So here's my list. Let's see what we have. First, we've got a couple mugs, and now this first one is smoke, Amico smoke, and light flux on the top, and you see it got a little blue flakes in there. And here we go. I love doing the bottom where it just gives it a shine. Next we have the Mississippi mug. I should have done these mugs in order. This one is Georgie's Interactive Pigments, the and Rainforest on the inside with light flux, and then clear. Rainforest on the inside with light flux. This is Indigo, Georgie's Interactive Pigment. It's Rainforest on the Mississippi in the handle. All right, the next mug is the carved mug. All right, I did Rainforest on the bottom half, Art Deco green on the top, and then that's Rainforest on the inside, and then I did a green underglaze in the carved areas, and then light flux around the top. You can see. Next mug. This one is Indigo, Georgie's Interactive Pigment and white back and clear on the outside. And then on the inside, it is Indigo Float, Amico. Sapphire Float, sorry about that, it is Sapphire Float. All right, that's the mugs on the top. Replacing some butterflies, and these are, I fire them on stilts, so all I do is tap the stilt and it pops right off. Now these are replacing butterflies from a wind chime. One of them had gotten broke, so I just replaced all of them. This is let's see, let me find my butterflies. This, I think it is Rainforest, and then on the edges, this is not a good day for me to remember glazes. I'm gonna have to look. Butterflies. I know I wrote them down. Okay, they were Rainforest and then Smoky Merlot around the edges. All right, I have a carved bowl. Now this one is jade on the inside and stroke and coat on the carved areas, and then just dipped in clear. And it did warp, look at there. Handmade bowls like to do that. I mean, it is an oval bowl, isn't it? All right, I'm gonna move one shelf so I can get down to the next level. My taller pieces, I've been working on a house for my nativity sets. I make these little hand sculpted nativities, and I've been working on a little house for it, I use Stroke and Coat brown and white back, and then I used iron. Just glaze it in Amico's iron. And this is a wood texture. I've got a texture mat. It's really a silicone mold. And the Nativity will go inside. Mary, Joseph, and the baby, all three can fit. There they go. And that'll be for Christmas. This is actually a Christmas gift to someone. So I'm not going to say who, but I'm sure she'll love it. Gotta make another one for me, but that'll come later. All right, I've been working on a butter dish with, these were Stroke and Coats, and then I just used Amico's Mixing Clear over. The Mixing Clear gives a really good shine, good finish to it. It is a really good brush on clear if you need a brush on clear. I've had questions on how you fire these. I bisque fire them together. I make them and I dry them and bisque fire them together so that nothing warps. It all fits. It keeps the platter flat since it's flat bottom. And then when I glaze fire, I want the tray glazed completely, but this I wipe back clean here so that I can fire it sitting on the shelf, and they fit. And I did a little hand sculpted handle, a little birdhouse to match the birdhouse on here. That's the butter set, butter dish. All right, I've been making my own plate stands, and I made two smaller ones this time. I've got something that I need to display, so I made those. And all I did was take a regular plate stand and trace around it and made a pattern, cut it out in craft foam, and then I just make them. All right, this is lavender speedball underglaze, white back, and then just clear over it. See, the texture is a really light texture, so I did not want to cover that texture. It's not very deep. It was just a little small MKM roller, and the tray matches it. A little flower pot, and on the inside I did make sure I got it right. I did royal purple underglaze, and then the clear on the outside, and then Duncan brand violet mist, and it is a matte glaze. And then I matched the tray. Here's my shop stand. All right. Also, I used black squirrel pottery mug plugs to make the flower pots, and that way they're all consistent. And this one I made straight at the top. The other one I made like a little jagged top, ruffled top. This one I cut an extra band and put on it to make it wider. It helps keep it from warping, which I didn't have a problem with the other warping either. But as you saw on the little hand carved bowl, you can have a problem with hand built stuff warping. But these are Stroke and Coat colors. Again, the Mixing Clear brushed on over it. And this is mulberry, Amico's mulberry on the inside and on the rim. And the tray for it is on another level, so we'll get to it in a minute. All right, my witness cones 4, 5, and 6. You can see I got a heavy 5 and starting of a 6, almost a cone 6. And I do keep these. I keep the last 3 so that I can compare until they start being a difference in them, and then I'll start looking at it a little closer. All right, I make these bunny plates, and I know it's not Easter, but I sell these year-round. I use the little stamps, clay stamp. This one I actually used a clay roller, the same one I used on the butter dish. And I used the little handmade stamps for the nose and the eyes, and then I just carve out the rest of it. And I do a little swirly at his feet, and just carve in the rest. Now this is I took a GR pottery form, laid it on paper, and traced around it to draw the bunny. So this is a hand-drawn bunny, but then I cut it out in craft foam so they're all the same size. They do match, but it is my hand-carved rabbit. And let's see what colors I did this one. This is just jade all over. I've got another one in there that's Snapdragon, but this one I did jade. And one more mug. All right, this is a wide bottom mug. Let's see. This is smoke at the bottom and light flux at the top. And I believe this is iron around the top, and then light flux. That turned out pretty with all the different colors. This is the rounded handle mug. Rounded handle mug. It's not on there either. Okay, I'm ready to lift out the big shelf. Careful. These posts, and let's see what we got. Okay, my little swirl bowl is, I use the Western brand Papaya in the main part of it, and then Mako's Amaryllis around the edges, and that turned out pretty. Papaya is a beautiful color. It's not really orange. Not sure how good the camera's picking it up, but I love it. And it always works well with my clay. I never have any problems with it at all. No crawling, no pinholing, nothing. Very smooth, shiny glaze. All right, now we have the other bunny plate, and I believe this one is Snapdragon. This is the Stroke and Coats, done just like the other one, but I did Snapdragon all over it. And this is a little bit different bunny. This one actually is done with a cutter, and have a little more problem with the ears on this one wanting to warp, but they held up pretty good. And if the ears warp, that's okay. It gives it character. It's a bunny rabbit. I did do some of this on the back. These are Stroke and Coats. Stroke and Coats do not run. If your texture is deep enough, you can put it down and wipe it back, and it will not stick to your shelf as long as you have it wiped back and it's in the recessed areas. But yes, Stroke and Coats with Snapdragon. See the difference in the pattern of the bunny. This is with a cutter. This is one I cut out myself. Difference is the ears and the feet, I guess, are wider on this one. All right, now we have the tray to the other flower pot. Remember the flower pot? Here's the tray that goes along with it. Here we got, now this is definitely a matte glaze. Let's see, I need to find this one. This might be the, let's see if I can find this one. All right, this one, not sure either. All right, that's not it. This is robin's egg. I put indigo and wiped it back, and then it's robin's egg for this one. And I don't remember this one, but this is a, if y'all think you know what this one is, you can fog and smoke, but this is a matte glaze, so that's not that. I'll have to look it up and see. I did satin patina on one of them. That might be this one. It's got to be this one, satin patina. Yeah, that's this one, satin patina. But I did an underglaze and wiped it back first. All right, let me get the rest of these shelves out, down another level. I've been working on a relief nativity tabletop, and I had one built, and I had it sitting like this on my shelf, and I bumped the shelf on my drying rack and it fell over, and when it did, it crumbled. So I started over and did this one again. These, the Mary and Joseph and the baby, are from a silicone mold that I found online just looking up from Amazon. I don't even know what brand it is. And then I hand cut the little house for it. It's about 1.5 inches deep, and placed them on it. And these are stroke and coat colors, and this in the background is iron. I did do black underglaze where the nail holes are. Other than that, it's just the iron. And I left the back clear, unglazed, so I could fire it flat. I did the bottom. I'd got a hole in it to hang it on the wall, and that way the bottom is glazed. If you want to put it on a tabletop, you can, but if you put it on the wall, you can see under it, then it doesn't look bad. So these are stroke and coat colors and iron. A little tabletop nativity. Okay. Egg tray is there. I know that other was robin's egg now. This is an egg dish to go on the refrigerator door in my refrigerator. We have well, it's not new anymore. It's 1.5 years old, but I need a tray to put eggs in on the door. And this is robin's egg, and this is light flux on it, and it really turned blue and shiny where the flux is. The robin's egg is a matte glaze, like the little tray, the little plate that I showed a minute ago. Had trouble remembering what it was, but this is robin's egg, and this is my butter tray to go on the door that matches it. Both of these are the robin's egg with flux, light flux on it. And to form the egg tray, I just got a styrofoam egg tray, used it as a mold to make it. This is cone 5, witness cone that I had down in the middle to make sure that it's firing evenly, top and bottom. All right, this is another little dish with the wood texture, and this is iron. You can see. Here's the little B plate. I used stroke and coats for the bees, And then I just glaze this with oatmeal all over. And a little bit of the yellow underglaze and white back. And then the oatmeal all over. Little spoon rest. Alright, here's another little dish. Let me see. This looks like sky. Aqua and deep sea. This is aqua and deep sea. And the clay that I'm using is the standard 240 white. I've been using this clay for 8 years, and it is real good for hand building. It's not my choice for throwing on the wheel. On the wheel I use the standard 112 or the standard 260. One more going to the bottom. One more level. All right. I made an extra little dish that goes under the flower pot just in case I had a problem with one, but it can also be used just as a little bowl or little candy dish. But these are Stroke and Coat colors with Amico mixing clear over, and then this was mulberry, Amico's mulberry on the inside. All right, little carved bird and a little Mississippi keychain. And those are mulberry that they're glazed with. All right, then I have a few pendants. I use Sand and Surf interactive pigment from Georgie's, and then white back, and then this is just mixing clear on top. And I'll fix these. They'll be pendants like the one I'm wearing. Okay, and now getting down to the hearts and the bottom. Let me find my hearts. Must be these on the back. Okay. This is Duncan's Violet Mist. It's just a very, very faint color of violet, but it is a matte glaze. Violet Mist. That's the same color that I used inside the first flower pot that I pulled out. All right. The rest of these are my heart-shaped dishes. I used San Bayo underglaze transfers, and then I used red Stroke and Coat, the hot tamale. Let me find it. Yeah, it's hot tamale. Yeah, hot tamale. And then I used the mixing clear for the inside to cover the underglaze transfer. A little bit on the back. And all these are in those same colors. Then I did a bigger heart. Let me wipe the grog off the back. I do use grog, and I do put my larger platters on the bottom. I keep grog on that shelf. I never take it out. I just spread it back around when I get through for the next time. Never have a problem with my platters staying flat. You know, this again is the San Bayo underglaze transfer with mixing clear over it, and Stroke and Coat hot tamale around the sides. My heart dish. And then I wanted to try to see if I could make a heart dish chip and dip. So it's not a huge one, it's just kind of an experiment. Popping these off here. And so I made a little chip and a little place for dip. and the colors are the same. I used underglaze transfer. This is a little bit of a different transfer, and the mix and clear over and stroke and coat hot tamale around the edges. And again, it stays flat. I gotta sand this off, the stuff where that grog stuck to it. And that's it. That is my kiln load. I will close this up until next time. Find me on Facebook, Dianna's Mud Shop, or on my YouTube channel. Got a lot of other videos under Dianna's Mud Shop. And until next time, thanks for joining me. Bye.